Russian Jew that had gone to college at the University of Berlin before finally getting out of Europe and coming to the United States. Zora was an engineer, and he was a very skilled engineer, but most importantly, he was a very imaginative engineer. He saw things differently. And Zora came up with hot rod parts. The Arden head, the Duntov kit. He helped introduce V8 engines, suspension components, transmissions, brakes, all the things of the car. The problem was, Bill's a styling guy. He cares about the shape, he cares about the look. He doesn't really care about what's going on underneath it. So Zora became trapped in this compromise of making a car work underneath this beautiful skin. Now, why wouldn't General Motors race it? Well, because there was Zora ever made. Because there was a lot more to lose than there was to gain, he thought. October 13th, 1962, Riverside, California. It's a 3-hour race. It's Corvette against the world. Some guy named Carroll Shelby showed up with a new car that he created that he thought was going to be the supercar of all time, the Cobra. Bruce McLaren was there. Ken Miles was there. Bob Bondurant was there. It was the all-star list of drivers. And they were driving everything from the world, including Jaguars, Mercedes, Sunbeams. I mean, there were a little bit of everything, but they were all relatively small sports cars. And 4 Z06 Corvettes. Guess which cars got all the attention? These spaceships from General Motors. The Corvette's Aero Coupe Stingray. It absolutely captivated the audience. The question is, did it run as good as it looked? The race starts, and the very first thing that is noted by the audience is, wow, these Corvettes sound different. They don't sound like these little foreign cars. These things sound like they've got some soul to them. And these cars literally went out there and dominated the race. So the race at Riverside was a success in that the winning car was a Corvette. Corvette became a symbol of America. The problem is, that was one race. Zora realized he had unfinished business. He still had 2 big races. He had cars lined up for the Daytona 3-hour race, as well as the 12 hours of Sebring. In February of 1963, the Corvette showed up again at the track at Daytona. They didn't win, but they did well. They competed and they stayed up with the best cars, the most exotic cars, including Ferrari now. But the problem that they had again is everything was late. They were having problems with aluminum wheels. They were having problems with brakes. They couldn't get the parts, but they made do with what they had. But again, the reaction from the crowd was so strong that it reinforced this image of Corvette as being America's sports car. The next opportunity for Zora was Sebring. It's not just longer race, it's 12 hours, it's an endurance race, but it's on a torture track. It's an old concrete airport, and cars are treated to probably the worst driving conditions of any track in the country. Corvette fielded 7 cars at that event, again, all independent teams. Zora's holding his breath, trying to get these cars as good as he possibly can, fighting the battle along the way, trying to get parts, trying to get the stuff that these teams need to be successful. The Corvettes do well. They don't all finish, but some of them did. The response from the Sebring crowd was unanimous approval that this car is a legitimate car, and we are proud to call it America's sports car. There was a waiting list of people to buy these cars, because now, not just the people that thought they were beautiful, but the people that saw them as a true sports car embraced these cars. The hot rodders finally had their sports car. After these 3 races, the Corvette became embraced, not just by Americans, but by the world as Corvette, America's sports car. sports car. Sports cars that participated in all three major events: Riverside, Daytona, Sebring. It survived. It actually finished the 12 hours of Sebring. It's with us today in its battle-scarred form, an old veteran still carrying the American flag, chassis number 701.
Okay, we're going to show you a slideshow of 701. If you haven't figured it out, guess what's under the cover? 701. So we'll let John stop. So there we go. There's Jerry Grant picking the car up at the St. Louis plant. That is this car. It was brand new. It's a white, black interior Z06 big tank race car for the streets. There's the picture of the cars lined up. You can see it says Alan Green Chevrolet on the side of this car. There it is at Riverside. There's more pictures of Riverside. It raced under number 8. I love the fact that on the racetrack it's got a license plate on it. There it is at Palo Alto. It continued to race after that before it went to Daytona. So here it is at Daytona. Now we got some side exhaust in the car. It's racing as number 7. More pictures of Daytona. And then here we are at Sebring, and it's the second car. It's that white car right there that just came out. Started out second in the field and actually finished, I think it was 46th overall, but it finished 12 hours of racing at Sebring. It's amazing, this car has not been damaged. It hasn't had any major accidents. Most of the parts, in fact, we estimate about 70% of the car is original to the car, including a lot of the parts that were supplied by Chevrolet engineering, so to speak, behind the counter, secretly at the racetrack to keep these cars on the track. The car right now is under a cover, which I think is interesting. It's not the most beautiful car cover you've ever seen, is it? It spent 10 years of its life under a cover just like this because it was just an old, tired, worn-out race car, no longer competitive. And you got to see a picture of it coming up here. This is continued pictures at Sebring, but it's going to change on us. Now it's back out in Washington. Spent most of its time in the Pacific Northwest. Look at the green car. That's the car. They painted it green. So it changed its personality. It's 1966 now. There you can see it in green. I think we got one more picture of it after the Newport event, where you'll see there it is. Kind of beat up, isn't it? Having fun. So this car has lived quite a storied past, but I think the most important thing this car did, it did not win races. It won our respect and became America's sports car. There were 4 cars, 3 races. This car raced in all 3 races. And in fact, it won the media and the fans. Not the races, it won the respect of the people, the world. And in fact, it is the only remaining intact race car of those original 4 cars. Of those original 4 cars, 2 of them have been completely restored. One of them is gone. I know where it went. It was Chevrolet engineering car. They scrapped it. And then there's this car. So, kids, it's your time. Come on up. We're going to uncover this car. Want to get some on that end and some on this end? Just grab a hold of the cover and walk along the side here and just pull it back, guys. Go this way, go this way. Pull it this way. There you go, you can do it. All right, pull her up. All right, that's good. I'll help you. Okay, there's 701. So what do you guys think? It's ugly, isn't it? But in fact, what is it? What are we really looking at? We're looking at history, aren't we? This car has literally survived with, I call it layers of racing modifications. Because from one race to the next, you saw the scrapbook where it went from this race to that race to that race. They didn't restore the car between races. They literally tore stuff off, put new stuff on, and they just kept changing the car to try to make it more competitive. This particular car has an engine in it, but it's not its original engine. It's actually, I think it's the fourth engine, the best our research can tell us, that's been in this car. Why would it have 4 engines? It's only got 9,000 miles on it. 2,000, we're driving from St. Louis out to the West Coast. So 7,000 track miles, kind of hard on it, very competitive. It was staying up with the best cars in the world. So the engine's not in it. There's an engine in there. It doesn't run. There's a transmission in there. So the car doesn't. It has the big brakes that were very unique to this car. It doesn't stop because they're not working. So basically, at this point in its life, it's just a neglected, abandoned old race car. So here's the question: if this was your car, what would you do to it? What's the next chapter for this car? Where does this car belong? What should be done with it? Is it important? Or is it just an old race car? In fact, I'm thinking I think with a little bit of body work, I think we could turn this into a heck of a resto mod. Don't you think? Put a modern drivetrain underneath it and, shiny paint and some big oversized wheels. Would that be a good idea? I'm seeing a bunch of you guys shaking your head. All right, so I want to get your feedback. So I'm going to go to this guy because he's shaking his head. He's got a Corvette shirt on. You must know about Corvettes. Tell me your name and where you're from.
Neil Prater, I'm from Jackson, Tennessee.
And what would you do if this was your car?
I put it somewhere where the public could see it and nobody could change it.
So you wouldn't touch anything?
Not a thing.
You wouldn't let it breathe again?
Well, I think it's so important in the scope of the Corvette that you don't need to change it.
Okay, that's good. Anybody, give me somebody else. He's taking pictures. I'm going to go over here. This guy right here. You got a comment. Tell me your name and where you're from.
I'm Zach. I'm from here in Indianapolis.
Okay, and what would you do to this car?
I wouldn't do much else other than what he said. Maybe get it mechanically running so it can, so you don't have to trailer it from show to show. But it should be seen by the public.
Okay, so I'm hearing people show to show. You would take this out to people at car shows? Is that what I'm hearing? I'm saying, okay, you're shaking your head. I'm going to get another one here. What's your name and where you from?
I'm Casey. I'm from Bloomington.
Okay, Bloomington. I heard something happens in Bloomington with Corvettes, right? Bloomington Gold. I'll help you out here. Okay, what would you do with the car?
I am a firm believer that cars are meant to be driven. I get it running and back on the road.
Okay, you drive the wheels off this thing.
I probably would. I've got a 64 Chevelle that I treat about the same.
How about vintage racing? Would that interest you?
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Okay, I kind of like that too. Okay, here we got another one. Where are you from? What's your name?
John Hoffmeister, College Grove, Tennessee. I'd make a plaque that said it was my car. It would go to the museum in Bowling Green.
All right, we have a generous owner here. You're going to donate it.
Put it up there as long as they want it.
Ah, that's even better. That way you still own it, but they get to store it for you, right? Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, now you're laughing here. What's your name?
Harrison Birch, I'm his grandson, but that's exactly what he would do. He wouldn't drive it.
Would you drive it?
No.
Okay, because he beat you up, wouldn't he? Yeah, you'd be off the wheel just like that. Okay, somebody else here. Who else we got? Oh, wait, there we go. Here we got one.
It was just pretty much that. I put it back to when it was this peak race that started.
Yeah.
Back in original condition, take it down to the museum, and then let people know what it did, how it did it, just like it did.
So let me ask you that. Was this an interesting story? Was it what you expected to see today? We told them today that we were going to take a new Z06 out of the factory and take it across the country and drive it in a race. They would fire me because that is insanity. Nobody does that. And this was an unproven car. They were just hanging it out there, taking the risks, taking the chances, but they did it, and this is the car. This is one of the cars that did that. I need your response. What did you think today? I need your name and where you're from.
Gail, Cincinnati, Ohio. I just thought the history was super interesting, personally. No.
So we surprised her. We gave her a story.
So much history on this car, left the way it is. I think it's awesome. There's so much provenance on it. It's amazing. Just think what happened behind that steering wheel. Incredible.
Yeah, it's funny.
Really amazing. Two lug nuts holding on it. There's the side pipe bracket. Let's see what these say. Headlights on, off. That's amazing.
I grew up in St. Louis, so a lot of my dad's friends worked at the Union International Bridge. It's kind of funny.
A lot of history on this car. Pretty amazing. That video we just watched explained it all. The gauges, everything's original on it. Just think where this car has been and where it came from. Pretty amazing. They said it's got the 4th engine in it, so it's not the original one that they raced with. It's got 4 engines in it over its time. So, pretty amazing car. That was really cool. I hope you enjoyed that, and I appreciate you watching.